Let me share with you a real epiphany that I had in my sales career many years ago. And I think it's really important while we're selling right now in the toughest of tough times. I discovered when I was looking back on my results and how I was operating and getting coached by my sales manager that I was having the wrong conversation given the context. So when a lead comes to us, the potential customer wants to understand why we are uniquely different and better than the other options that they're looking at. So it's perfectly normal that we explain why we think we're uniquely different. It's perfectly normal. I'm not saying it's the best strategy, but it's understandable that we're doing that because that's kind of what they're asking. But when we are going to proactively create sales pipeline, when we're going to phone people up and seek to get a conversation with them about how they can achieve improved results, we need to talk about why they should consider change now. The big issue is why change now? Why move away from the status quo? They don't care about why we're uniquely different until they first decide that they need to change the way that they're currently operating. So think about qualifying the impact of change rather than trying to qualify your deal. No potential client wants to be qualified by a seller. They don't like that, and nor do they like being given the Spanish Inquisition, the sort of 99 questions from a salesperson. They don't want their time wasted educating us. So turn up with a point of view and focus on their opportunity to improve results. Why change? Why now? Qualify the impact of change. That's talking the language of leaders. Let me share with you now 3 questions. I promised this at the beginning, 3 questions that I believe transform inbound conversations. Here's the first. The person calls you up and they're asking you a lot of questions about what you do. Does the product do this? Does the product do that? You know, I've emailed you my spreadsheet. Can you answer the 1,347 questions and give me your price? We need to be cooperative. Say, look, you know, absolutely, Mary, I'll do all of that. But do you mind if I ask, what's happened inside the organization that's caused you to be looking at this now? If they go, well, I'm not sure why you'd ask. Well, look, I'm just trying to understand what the business case is for this and what you need to achieve. And here's the second question. You know, what improved results would you expect to get, both for the organization, for you and your role, if you made an investment in this area? You know, whether you went with us or somebody else, what better results are you expecting to get for the business? And the reason these 2 questions are incredibly important is when leads come to us, often someone who really makes decisions delegates the process of investigating the market or evaluating options to somebody else. And if there is not clarity about the strength of the business case for doing this, the danger is they'll go through the process of evaluating, which consumes a lot of our resources, but they don't buy. Depending on the industry, before the great recession that we're in right now, even before now, but depending on your industry, 25% to a third of deals will get lost to non-decision, just staying in current state. So it's never been more important to help your client have clarity about why their organization should do this and make it a priority and the business case. And as you're having that conversation, then ask them, hey, where do you see the risks of implementing this successfully? And the thing we found in all of the research is that it's the way that you engage the client that is the biggest point of differentiation. It's the real reason they'll decide to select you, because they'll be sitting around that virtual or real boardroom table later when we're all getting back into the office saying, you know what, there's 3 or 4 vendors, suppliers that can all do this, but we're going with this company because they took the time to understand us. We feel like there's a good cultural fit. We like the way that they implement and operate. We just feel that they're the lowest risk for us. And it's the level of engagement that you get with a prospect that determines whether you're going to win. It's not things like BANT, you know, budget, authority, need, timeline. Move away from those clumsy, simple qualification frameworks and instead think about level of engagement is what determines probability to win.